This actor and television host is one of many who used their free time during the pandemic to start their own business. Richard Juan shares the story behind 28 Squared Studios in our Celebrities and Business segment. Richard, great to see you again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Super excited to be here. And to
You know, when I met you late last year, I thought you were a K-pop artist.
Oh, wow.
Or a K-drama actor.
That's very, very flattering. Thank you so much. Maybe in another life.
In another lifetime. Or maybe in a previous lifetime.
Probably.
Yeah. So, why did you start this digital entertainment company, 28 Squared Studios, during the pandemic?
Oh, that's a very good question. Because the funny thing is, right before the pandemic, things were going really well in front of the camera for me. I had a show, and then I had a lot of like travel content. I was going around the world to do all of content. But because of the pandemic, it hit. So my show my character got written off.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, during the pandemic, what am I going to do? There's nothing to do. And I'm someone that likes to do things. I don't like staying at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
So
you want to be productive.
I want to be productive. That's me.
Useful.
Yeah, it's like Richard Productive Juan. That's my name. And so I decided, you know what? I'm gonna explore doing something new. And I was like, hey, I've built so many connections around the region, being in entertainment for the last, I think, 7, 8, 9 years now. I realized, how do I put everything together? I realized maybe a company might do.
Well, that was a perfect pivot. I mean, everyone basically moved to the digital platform during the pandemic, and now many of them are doing so well.
Yes.
What do you do for 28 Squared Studios?
So in 28 Squared Studios, we started first as a video production company. So this was kind of a risky thing to do during the pandemic also because there aren't much production. A lot of things were online, like online production and all that. So we were lucky to have a lot of different clients during that time that needed online streaming, like they needed to do like online events and all that. So we were able to provide that platform or that software, that program.
So do you still do that, or you've moved on already to do bigger projects?
We've moved on. We still have that service, but we moved on now to do a lot of different things. So right now we did a documentary. Most recently we did our first ever film, a full-length film. Yeah, so we just shot that. We just finished shooting literally a month ago in Hong Kong. So we have a Thai actor and a Filipino actress, which is Janelle Salvador and Win Meta Win. And it should be out very, very, I don't want to say soon, sometime this year, maybe early next year.
So will it be on a streaming service, or will it be on the silver screen?
We're still discussing with different parties. We're still exploring our options because we believe that we have something very, very special. And of course, being on the big screen, it's something very amazing. But at the same time, if we go straight to a platform, this can be shown around the world. So we're still discussing, we're still figuring it out, but we'll find out soon.
What is the chemistry like between a Filipino actor and a Thai actor in one film?
So that initially was my biggest fear. Like, as in, we've never tried this. I mean, we tried this 10 years ago with Erich and with, who was that again? Mario Mauer.
Yes.
And then 10 years later, we have this, and we were like, will it work? But then when we saw it first on our first scene of them together, we're like, okay, we're good. We're good.
Really,
like, we got some, yes, we see it right away. Like, we were so excited for that. That was our initial, not gonna lie, that was our initial worry. But then once we saw them on camera, once they interact with each other, I'm like, we have something special.
That's why you see this project as something big, and you're making that decision if it will be distributed worldwide or through the streaming service.
Sure.
But how involved are you, Richard, in the business? Do you just say, do this, do that, do this, or are you totally involved? Were you also in Hong Kong for the filming?
Oh, yes, I was in Hong Kong for the filming, and Rico, trust me, like at first, I initially thought that my pre-production work, which is to prepare everything from the location, choosing to shoot in Hong Kong, to choosing the team, preparing the directors and all that, I thought my job would be done by then.
Yeah.
Go to Hong Kong, I'll have my producers and all that work, and my director and all that. I'm like, but then when I got there, I'm like, every single day I had something to do, that had something to fix. So we were shooting for like 30, we had 18 shooting days.
Wow.
But we were in Hong Kong for 30 days.
Very, very hands-on with the business. But
yes.
I also want to find out from you, Richard, where did you get your entrepreneurial DNA? Why do you keep on working? Despite your heavy schedule as a TV host and social media influencer.
I guess it might be, like you said, in my DNA. My dad's a businessman.
Okay.
My mom also is a business woman. So growing up, I was actually groomed to go towards that direction. But for some reason,
Run the family business or to be on your own?
to run a family business, to do my own stuff, it doesn't really matter. My parents always grew me to be a businessman. But again, I stumbled into this entertainment business out of nowhere. I first moved grew up in Hong Kong. I moved back to the Philippines to study in UP. But then for some reason, got discovered to do modeling. And the next thing I know, I was on TV. And next thing you know, I have an entertainment company now.
Yeah. You took a different route, but you're now coming back.
Exactly, and I went
to
back.
where you really belong, and that's being an entrepreneur. And what kind of advice and wisdom have your mom and dad shared with you? I mean, in managing a business, there's just a lot of peaks and valleys, the ups and downs of the business cycle.
I think what fascinates me a lot and what I realize a lot is that my parents never told me anything specifically, but then I remember the things that they do or they did, and then it kind of influenced me in terms of how I run my own business. I mean, I'm not saying like everything they did is what I'm doing right now. I feel like they show me the good side and I learn from them. But the bad side, I'm like, okay, I know I should not be doing this. I want to do it this way. Like I would call myself a very laissez-faire, but at the same time, hands-on businessman. But
are they all support of your board? Your parents?
They're just sitting there doing nothing. They see what's happening, but then my mom, my dad, they let me do everything myself. I mean, everything in this company I started because of what I've made and what I've did for the last couple of years, and this is kind of like a culmination of everything.
Does your social media celebrity status also help you get projects for 28 Squared?
Definitely. I mean, a lot of our first clients, or even our existing clients right now, are actually from projects that used to get me as an ambassador or get me to do some content for them. And then what we do now is package everything together. We're like, hey, you want to get me for, let's say as an influencer for this project, why don't you get my team also to do the video? So it kind of like it all became like a whole big package. And hey, I mean, we could offer better discounts doing that way too. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Richard Juan and 28 Squared Studios, a package deal. Congratulations on your success, and thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Thank you so much for having me.